Welcome to Psych with Sigmund, the podcast where we dive into the fascinating world of psychology and explore the intricacies of the human mind. I'm your host, Sigmund, and today we're going to talk about a concept that is at the very core of our being: self-concept and self-esteem. Self-concept refers to the way we think about ourselves, including our strengths, weaknesses, values, and goals. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is the evaluation we make of ourselves based on our self-concept. It's how much we like, accept, and respect ourselves, given our perceived strengths and weaknesses. Understanding self-concept and self-esteem is crucial in psychology because it influences nearly every aspect of our lives, from our relationships and communication style to our career choices and personal growth. Our self-concept determines how we perceive the world around us, how we interact with others, and how we make decisions about our lives. The concept of self-concept and self-esteem has its roots in ancient Greece, where philosophers like Aristotle and Plato explored the nature of the self and human identity. However, it wasn't until the 20th century that psychologists began to study self-concept and self-esteem systematically. One of the pioneers in this field was psychologist Carl Rogers, who developed the person-centered theory, which emphasizes the importance of self-acceptance and self-actualization. Other key researchers, such as Albert Bandura and Jean Twenge, have made significant contributions to our understanding of self-concept and self-esteem. Bandura's social learning theory highlights the role of observation, imitation, and reinforcement in shaping our self-concept, while Twenge's work on generational differences in self-esteem has shed light on how societal factors influence our self-perception. Research has shown that people with a healthy self-concept tend to have higher self-esteem, which is linked to better mental health outcomes, such as lower anxiety and depression. On the other hand, individuals with low self-esteem are more likely to experience social withdrawal, self-doubt, and decreased motivation. One fascinating study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who practiced self-compassion, treating themselves with kindness, understanding, and acceptance, had higher self-esteem and life satisfaction than those who did not. Another study published in the journal Cyberpsychology, Behavior, and Social Networking discovered that excessive social media use can lead to decreased self-esteem and increased anxiety as people compare their lives unfavorably to others' curated online personas. But how can understanding self-concept and self-esteem help us in our everyday lives? For one, it can inform our relationships and communication style. It can also influence our career choices and personal growth. By recognizing our strengths and weaknesses, we can make informed decisions about which paths to pursue and how to develop our skills. By exploring your self-concept, you may realize that your lack of confidence stems from comparing yourself unfavorably to others or fearing criticism. Once you become aware of these thought patterns, you can start to challenge them and develop a more realistic and compassionate self-image. In therapeutic settings, self-concept and self-esteem are often addressed through techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and self-compassion exercises. These approaches help individuals identify and challenge negative self-talk, develop a more realistic and compassionate self-image, and cultivate self-awareness and acceptance. By embracing our unique strengths and weaknesses, and by cultivating a growth mindset, we can work towards developing a more balanced and compassionate self-concept. It's also essential to recognize that self-esteem is not fixed. It can fluctuate over time and vary across different domains of life. For instance, you may have high self-esteem in your professional life, but struggle with self-doubt in your personal relationships. Finally, I'd like to leave you with a thought-provoking question. What would happen if we all practiced self-compassion and self-acceptance just as we would towards a close friend? How might our lives change if we treated ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that we offer to others? Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.